Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, repeating the same conversation over and over again? Story? Or imagine all the what-if situations that could happen until the mind do you feel like you're about to explode. Right? It's overthinking. A silent storm that steals peace, drains the mind, and makes us feel stuck. The more we think, the more confused our thoughts become, and the harder it is to find meaning. Discerning. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is likened to a lake. When the water is still, it reflects project the world clearly. Okay? But when stirred by the wind, or in the case of, or endless thoughts, then that reflection becomes distorted. Thinking to Machiavelli is like throwing stones into a lake, making it impossible to see below the surface water. So how can we calm this storm? How can we calm therapies in the mind? Today, I want to share 6 simple yet powerful Buddhist lessons that can help you slow down your thinking. Find inner balance and truly feel at peace. Have you ever noticed that? Most of our stress doesn't come from what we ... happening right now. That comes from what has happened or what might happen next follow. We keep reliving old mistakes, wishing we could change them. Or we let them go, in my mind, imagining all the worst scenarios. And while my thoughts just pass by, the present moment passes quietly. Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream about the future. Focus on the present. Focus your mind on the present moment." Sounds simple, but how do we actually do it? Let me tell you a story. A young monk and his teacher were walking through the woods when they came across a river. The water flowed rapidly. The young monk stood still on the bank, staring at the water. Rapid flow. What if I slip? What if I get swept away? What if I don't make it? What? He worried. The teacher just stepped into the river and said, "Don't think about the middle or the end. Just take one step, then another." The young monk followed, focusing only on his feet, feeling the cold water, the stones beside him below the pull of the water. Step by step, he waded across. When they reached the other shore, the master said, "Fear exists only in the future. Regret exists only in the present, in the past. But peace is always here, right at this step." The truth is, overthinking often happens because we get out of the present moment. Okay? We are like a browser with too many tabs open past, mistakes in our tab, worries about the future in another. And the more tabs we open, the more ready slower. So how can we close those tabs? Asterisk, you can start right now. Take a deep breath and focus on just one thing. The sounds in the room, the feeling of your feet touching the floor, the rise and fall of your chest. Just sits, okay? That's the present moment. You don't have to solve your entire life in just one day. You weave you knew. Don't even have to finish the river. You just have to take the next step fully. And here's the great part. When you live in the present, you realize that you already have everything necessary to move forward. Not someday, but now. Have you ever spent hours, even days, stressing about something that you cannot change yet? Tired, right? Like trying to push open a locked door that never opens. Open it. The truth is, our suffering comes not only from what happens to us, but also from the way we hold on to it. If we cling to the questions of what if only, and why me, as if rewinding it would somehow rewrite the past. Buddhist wisdom teaches that our pain comes not from the event itself, but from the way we react to it. We hold them. Let me share a story. Once upon a time, there was a man who saw a big rock blocking his way. He used all his strength till he pushed it, but it wouldn't budge. He tried again and again until sore muscles, blistered hands, sweaty body. Finally, an old monk passed by and asked, "Why are you pushing that rock?" The man replied, "Because it's in my way. I need it gone." The monk smiled gently and said, "That rock has been here for hundreds of years. It will not move, but you can go around it. You can choose another path. At that moment, the man realized his strength did not lie in his ability to move. Moving a rock is about knowing when to stop pushing. Life is full of these rocks. A person who refuses to change, a mistake in the past cannot be corrected. A decision has been made. The harder we try, the more exhausted. Letting go doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're freeing yourself from a war you can't win. So you have energy for the things you want can change. I learned this the hard way. I used to believe that if I just tried harder, I can handle any situation, make everyone happy, control any outcome. But all I did was exhaust myself till I realized that peace is not about control. It's about acceptance. So, here's a question for you. What rock have you pushed away in your life long time ago? What if instead of pushing harder, you simply went around it? When we let go of what we cannot control, we create space for what really matters. And in that space, peace can finally be found. Breathe. Have you ever felt like life is just too much? Too many emails, too many notifications, too many to-dos in your calendar. It's like we are running on a treadmill that is constantly accelerating. And the more we run, the faster we feel, more peaceful. The modern world tells us that happiness comes from having more money, more material things, more achievements. But Buddhist wisdom whispers something very different. There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path, road. That means happiness doesn't wait for us at the end of some big race. It's in right here, in how we choose to live each day. It's one of the most powerful choices we can do, is to live simply. There is a Zen principle called Shibomitha, quiet beauty of simplicity, Manajamija, a tea ceremony where every movement is still, every object has a purpose, and nothing extra distracts from the moment. That's Shibumi, when we clear out clutter in our homes, schedules, and minds. Something magical happens. The things that really matter will start to shine through. I remember the story of a Zen master who lived in a tiny wooden hut with only one roof mat, a teapot, and a cup. A guest asked, "Sir, what are all your possessions? Where are you?" The owner smiled and replied, "Where is yours?" The tourist smiled. "I was just passing by." The master nodded. "Me too." Here's the thing. Life is temporary. We spend too much time holding on to things we don't have, things that don't last, forgetting the simple joys that are still there. A warm cup of tea, the sound of falling rain, peaceful moments with the one you love. Living simply does not mean living without comforts. It means eliminating what is unnecessary, so you have space for what is necessary. It's not about having less, it's about bodies to create space for more peace, more joy, more meaning. So here's something to think about. If you eliminate just one unnecessary thing from your life, my life, this week, a bad habit, a little clutter, commitment that you don't care, then what space will open up for something better? The beauty of simplicity is that it gives back what the world often takes away: time, focus, and peace. And when you have those, you'll realize happiness is never far away. It is always right here, right now. Have you ever had a moment of pain or anxiety and thought, this is not going to work out? When will it end? At times like these, it's easy to believe that our difficulties are permanent, that the burden we carry will always be this heavy. But Buddhist wisdom teaches otherwise. All conditioned things are impermanent. Be diligent and strive, force. Nothing, not fear, not sadness, not even joy, can last forever. Let me share a story. A sad little boy came to see his teacher. The teacher gave him a small handful of salt and said, "Put it in a glass of water and drink it." The student took a sip and immediately frowned out face. Too salty. Then the teacher took another handful of salt and threw it into the big lake. "Drink the water in the lake." The student leaned down, drank, and smiled. It tastes refreshing. The teacher looked at him and said, "The salt, the pain has not changed, but the space you hold it has changed. When you open your mind and heart, the pain becomes smaller." That's the thing about life. The pain you feel today won't always be there, deep like this. The storm will pass, the wound will heal, the sadness will fade, and sometimes all we need to do is give it time, okay? I've been there too, moments that seem like they'll never happen, out of the darkness. But looking back, I see that every difficult chapter eventually ends. Every ending opens the door for something new to begin. So when life gets overwhelming, remember, you're not stuck forever in this moment. Just as seasons change, circumstances, emotions, okay, and even your perspective will change as well. Here's something you can try. Ask yourself, will this still matter after Ronnie? More a year? 5 more years? Chances are, the answer will remind you that this too is only temporary. The beauty of impermanence is that it gives us hope in difficult times, okay, and also reminds us to cherish the beautiful moments while they still exist, because nothing is permanent. Every moment is precious. So take a deep breath. Whatever you're facing right now will change. The river flows on, okay? And no drop of water can stay in one place for long. Have you ever noticed that your mind can switch from one thought to another? Okay. How fast one moment you're thinking about what to cook for dinner. The next moment, you're embarrassing an embarrassing incident from 10 years ago. And somehow, the mood of your mind begins to change based on these thoughts, as if they are controlling you sober. The truth is, your thoughts are not you. They are just visitors passing through road. Buddhist wisdom reminds us, we create the world with our thoughts, yourself, but that doesn't mean every thought is true. Thoughts are like clouds, drift across the sky. They come, they go, and they constantly change shape, form. The sky does not become the clouds, okay? And you do not become your thoughts. Let me share a story. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Why can't I stop thinking? Keep bothering me." "My meditation." The teacher pointed to a calm lake. "Do you see the ripples on the water?" "No, it's my mind when I'm chasing my thoughts." Then he said, "Now, see what happens when you stop touching the water." The ripples gradually disappeared until the lake's surface perfectly reflected the sky. The teacher smiled. Your thoughts are like those ripples. If you stop poke at them, stop chasing or resisting, they will calm down on their own. That's the beauty of mindfulness. You don't have to fight every thought, analysis, accumulate each thought, or believe each thought. You just watch them pass by as if sit on a park bench and let passersby pass by. I have experienced this myself. There are days when I completely believe my thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'll never understand this. Something bad is going to happen. But when I learned to simply observe them instead of becoming when I saw them, I felt lighter. I realized I was not the fear, doubt, or worry me own worries. I am the awareness that perceives them. So here's something to try. Next time you feel caught in a depression storm, imagine you are the sky. Let the clouds pass by without holding on. Hold them, no matter how dark or heavy the clouds get. The sky is still there, open, vasting, pristine. When you stop letting your thoughts define you, you regain your power. And in the space in that time, you will discover a deeper peace. It's a kind of peace that does not depends not on what is going on in your mind, but on the stillness of the mind itself. Sometimes your mind is like a crowded room. Thoughts kept intertwining, worries kept passing by, and somewhere in the chaos, peace quietly drifts away. Buddhist wisdom teaches that there is a simple way to quiet this noise. A method to practice is called mindfulness, and it is one of the most accessible tools for mindfulness practice. is something we carry with us every moment of every day. Our breath, Buddha said. When the mind is calm, the breath is also calm. Let me tell you a story. A young student once came to his teacher and said, "My mind is restless. I can't concentrate. I feel like I'm lost in my own thoughts." The master handed him a cup of hot tea and said, "Drink slowly. Just focus on the warmth, fragrance, taste." At first, the student tried, but his mind kept wandering. Then he took a deep breath, and for the first time that day, everything else fell away. He just filled the cup of tea in hand. The teacher smiled. That is mindfulness. It is not chasing away thoughts, but returning to them, this moment again and again. Breathing is the easiest way to return to about. You don't need a meditation cushion or a quiet mountaintop. You can do this anywhere, at your desk, on the road, before bed. Just take a deep breath, feel the air fill your lungs, then exhale slowly, letting go of any tension that is weighing you down. Heavy, single quotes, "V done this at times when I felt completely overwhelmed in the middle of a conversation to fix things, on sleepless nights, even while waiting in line at the supermarket. And every time the same thing happens. The noise in my mind quiets down. My body relaxes, liquid. I feel present again." Imagine your breath as an anchor. No matter how rough the sea of your thoughts may be, no matter how stormy it gets, you can still anchor yourself to the present moment, okay? And from there, the waves will eventually calm down. So right now, as you listen, try this with me. Breathe in. Feel the emptiness, air, Hold your breath for a moment, and exhale very slowly. Notice how just a few seconds of awareness can it change your emotions? Mindfulness is not about running away from life. It's about being fully involved in it. Live, and your breath is the door. Every breath in is a return. Every breath in was a release, and peace is waiting right in the middle of it. You have just heard 6 timeless lessons from Buddhist wisdom. Each lesson is a step simple to calm the noise in your mind and bring more peace into your life. But the truth is, wisdom only works when we live with it. Read about mindfulness is one thing, but feeling it, practicing it, is where real change happens. So I want to leave you with this. Live in the present. Let go of thoughts that do not serve you. Keep life simple so you can see what's really important. And trust that change is always possible, even if it's just small, gentle steps. Your mind is powerful. Yes, it can overthink and overcomplicate, but it can also be focusing, calming, and healing. And you don't have to force it. With gentle and persistent effort, you can learn to guide it, like a river that flows back to still water. I understand, because I've been there, caught in a whirlwind of questions, if only and if only, endlessly. But every time I choose to slow down, breathe, and come back to now, I've discovered a little more space inside. And in that space, peace has room to flourish. So here's my invitation to you. Try these lessons. Not today, tomorrow, not next week. Today. Pause before your next meeting. Follow. Let go of a worry before going to bed. Pay attention to the small details around you, and if this message touches you, if it reminds you of something important, share it with people who need it. Click like to let YouTube know and share it with more people. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue to accompany each other on the path to learn, practice, and find stillness in this noisy world. Thank you for spending time with me. May your mind always be steady, your heart out with serenity, and your days are filled with quiet joy when simply is to be here, right now.